So hi everyone, today in this video we're going to develop another mental model that can be useful for you, since mental models are representations about how the reality work, and as much more you grasp them, higher so is your likelihood of getting what you want, that is prosperity. But you to take prosperity, you need to take actions to make it, and prior to make it, you have to think about what's going to be the ones that you're going to make or not, and you require some decision making. That's where that enters the importance of having information. What study seems to show that's good, that's useful to be done. And obviously, you don't need to waste time by being a try and face the feedback if it's good or not. Why not? So go for what the other ones have already studied, other ones have done it. So the process of testing if it's something that's useful or not, and you just so grasp them and use it constantly in your life. And so with that type of principle to kind of be smart using what other ones have been studied and if been proven as true. Also, a good one that I'm going to talk today is the economic one coming from the economic studies, and is the one of the most common that's called broken window fallacy. Why destruction doesn't create health wealth in sometimes. So what's the core idea of this mental model? Says that the broken window fallacy, that's coined by the economist Frederick Bastiat, debunks the myth that the destruction, like natural disasters, wars, or vandalism, stimulates the economy by creating jobs to rebuild. But in reality, it diverts resources from productive uses to repair, leaving society poorer. What is seen new jobs fixing damage ignores what is unseen, that is, the lost opportunity to invest those resources elsewhere. But then, so how it works, how this mental model works. We have one first bullet point that I would like to get to see, that is visible versus invisible costs. A vandal breaks a baker's window. The baker spends 500 to fix it, which appears to boost the glazier's business. But the baker could have spent that 50,000 or 50, so 50 on a new oven, hiring staff, or expanding investments that create long-term value. So, second, looking for the opportunity cost. Resources like labor, materials used to repair damage can't be used to innovate or grow. Example, so is like rebuilding a hurricane hit town creates construction jobs but diverts funds from education or healthcare. And three, misleading GDP. GDP rises due to repair spending, masking the net loss of wealth. So the original window and the backer's missed opportunity. So that's a policy. Sometimes we tend to kind of making so a process to not feel that much bad when something so tends to happen, because we tend to think that so I'm spending that amount of money in doing something that in reality can contribute in certain way, can create jobs, can put so the thing in the best way, allow that the past one was so destroyed. But the reality is that ignores the fact that this resource could be applied in a new type of thing that could be much more better so than just investing in something that comes with like the repair or something new coming from the destruction of something. And the reality is that so we have to understand that we're not in an environment that the resources are like infinite. So in an environment that we are, that the resources are finite, we have so to understand the opportunity cost of the actions that we take. And the reality is that so these resources that so used to repair damage are not used to innovate or growth, and it's something that we have to deal because we don't have infinite resources, so we're losing. But we tend so to kind of fall in the beast of not see the unseen of our action. That is so what we could be doing if we didn't do so the thing that I'm doing right now. What could be the real world examples? We have one, the post-war booms. So after the destruction of the Second World War, the reality is that the Second World War destruction didn't stimulate Europe. It took decades to recover pre-war productivity. We have the disaster economics after Hurricane Katrina that was in that was so like I think it was spent 125 billions that were so spent to rebuilding New Orleans. The economists estimate these funds could have built 10 new cities from scratch. We have the COVID-19 test spending, trillions spent on lockdowns and PCR tests inflated GDP but diverted resources from vaccine, research and development, or small business grants. And we have the tech obsolescence. Planned obsolescence, like the funds dying after 2 years, creates repair jobs but wastes resources on short-term consumption over innovation. So why it matters? Wasted resources. We make estimation that around 1 trillion or even more is spent annually on disaster recovery, that obviously globally talking. Innovation stagnation, funds funneled to repairs could revitalize industries like green energy, add moral hazards, pollutions and companies profit from crises like defense contractors in wars. What could be so solutions for this type of problem? So what could we do to face that type of dynamics in this system? We have one, prevent over repair, like invest in disaster resilient infrastructure like flood barriers, fireproof materials to reduce future costs. So prevent overspending in repairing, opportunity accounting. So government should weigh what could have been done versus repair costs in policy decisions. So instead of just thinking and repair, probably people should focus more in what could have been done prior, and so in posterior type of constructions we spending more money in preventing the thing to happen than just so like saving to so in the expenses of something bad happens. And shift to innovation, redirect recovery funds to research and development, education and startups. The reality is that certain times exists certain type of corruption. The reality is in this type of funds, this fund that goes for certain institutions, for certain type of plans, the reality is that they're like the best way that the people have to get corruption is like these recovery plans that so have a lot of money, and then so obviously if the people have more control over this and then so shift it and kind of obligated a specific amount from the government, a higher one that is so done today, to go for a more productive type of tasks, obviously so it will will create benefits for everyone. Public education, so like teach media and politicians to stop glorifying post-disaster GDP bumps could be something that's good because it's something that incentivizes and makes so people continue to take certain actions if the disaster happens over and over. Yeah, they kind of get clarified by the GDP bumps that happens after these disasters, but the reality is that people have to understand better the opportunity cost that comes with this GDP bump. If it's something that in reality is the increase of the quality of the economy, is what people have to focus more and not falling so in just seeing metrics and adopting as the real and final target of the economy. That's something that it's not true. We work and do things to create more resources, not to make it have a higher GDP than other ones. Because certainly, if you go around the globe, you will see a lot of countries that are better than ones that have higher GDP in comparison with that countries, and that's something that so people have to be more fundamentalist and look more for quality over than type of what numbers and quantities can say. That's something that people have to get in count. So I expect this video was good. I expect this was enough to have made like the video if it's the first one that you see. So put a like if you liked, obviously. Can subscribe and feel free to see other videos that may trigger your interest. Lately we've done so through economic mental models that obviously it's a vast type of field that I tend to want and to make so this marathon go on still and see how this can impact your life. It's probably so it's the best way to apply the knowledge that you have grasped in this video. Without much more to say, just thank you and I expect to see more in this channel. See you in the next one.